This is going to be the first tutorial of 3 video tutorials for exercise for visual effects. And one of the reasons I'm splitting up into 3 video tutorials is, first of all, to make it a little easier on me, and to make it, because this is very complex and there's a lot of different things you're going to be doing. Also, it'll make it a little easier on you if you need to stop at some point in time, okay? So let's begin. So for our first, so in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to take this video of a girl walking, and we're going to be adding in a different sky, a new sky with storm clouds, okay? And so what you're going to need to do is, in our D2L class, we'll just pause that there, you will find these files, and you'll need to download these. And you're going to have a girl walking MP4, a storm clouds MP4, a whole PNG. You're going to have blood 1 through 4 PNGs. And then you're going to have these splotches, which are also blood too, but you're going to have 3 of those. And you want to download these things and put them in a folder. I put mine in a folder called Assets. And then you want to put that folder inside another folder. So you want to make 2 folders here for your project. One that has your assets and one where we're going to have our After Effects files, okay? And for this, I called it FX Exercise Tutorial. You can call your FX, your main folder FX Exercise. And the reason I want to impress this upon you is because this tutorial, these 3 video tutorials that I'm going to go through will take some time, and you may not be able to complete this exercise within one class, okay? And you want to be able to take this home with you, okay? So let's begin. So in After Effects, you should start a new project, okay? And we're going to bring in, and so if you don't know, by the way, you go File, New Project, okay? And then you'll have this window. And then we're going to go to New Composition from Footage. We're going to click on this. And we're going to look for our folder. And for me, it's that FX Exercise Tutorial folder here. And then we're going to go inside the Assets. And we're looking for Girl Walking, okay? We're going to bring that one in first. Okay? Then I'm going to come over to my project window, and if I double click, it actually lets me import. And if it's not doing that for you, you could do Command I. Just make sure you're inside the project window. And we're going to bring in the storm clouds. We won't need to change anything down here. We're just going to open it up, okay? And the storm clouds MP4, I'm going to drag underneath the girl. So we've got 2 layers here. We got this layer with the girl walking, okay? I'm just going to turn it off by clicking on this eye. And then we've got a layer that's going to be underneath of these storm clouds. And so in order for these storm clouds to show through, we're going to need to make a mask. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this first layer here with the girl walking, and we're going to duplicate it. So you can click on that layer, do Command D, okay? And then I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to rename this to make things a little easier. I'm going to type in and call this a mask, because that's what this is going to be, all right? Now, what we're going to need to do is we're going to double-click the layer, and that brings us into layer view, okay? Because sometimes you guys may have accidentally double-clicked on a layer before, and it takes you into this view here, and then this is into our composition view. We want to be in layer view because we're going to be doing a few things. We're going to be using levels. So you're going to need to go over to your Effects and Presets panel and look for this. And then you want to type in the search levels. Okay? And we want to use auto levels. We want to use levels. And we want to just, we can double click this, and this will add it to that layer. And by the way, if you come over to this little arrow down here, you can see the effect that's been added. And I'm going to close this back up. I just wanted to show you that for a second, okay? So what we're going to do is, first thing is we're going to go to the histogram, and this little arrow on the bottom on the far left, we're going to drag over. And you see what it does. It kind of makes everything really dark, okay? And then I'm going to come over to the far left side and click and add an arrow and add another little arrow here. And what this is going to do is this is going to be for the white. So this is going to make this very extreme right here. Okay? And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to paint out in here black so that it will actually, so this whole area is going to be black, and this is going to help us make our mask, okay? So next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go and get a paintbrush, okay? And hopefully your paint palette will pop up over here. And the most important part of this is two things. One is we want to make sure the duration is set to constant, because you could actually paint, frame by frame. If you wanted to come in here and make little drawings that you animate by doing different, drawings for each frame, you could actually do that. But we're going to change this to constant, okay? And for our foreground color, we can just click the eyedropper here, and it's already kind of set to black. But if you want to, you can come over here with this eyedropper and click on the darkest areas to ensure that you're getting the same color of black or whatever. So let's continue on here. We have brushes somewhere here. Here's brushes. And in order to make a brush larger and for us to see it, you hold down your command key and scroll a little bit with your mouse. So with your mouse, you want to move it, or with your pen tool if you're using a Cintiq, you just want to hold down the command key, or on PC it's going to be the control key, and this is the way we can change our brush size. And we're going to pick a hard round brush, okay? And what we're going to do is we're just going to paint in here, okay? Very simple. I'm using my mouse to paint with just because it's a little, I just want to be a little fast with this. If I need to, I can go get my my pin for my Cintiq, because I have a Cintiq setup here with this. But we're just going to paint this out here, all on the interior here. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'll use my scroller wheel on my mouse to actually zoom in. And we're going to make our brush just a little smaller here by dragging my mouse towards the left and holding down the command key. And we'll just paint in these little areas on this branch that are bright. And we don't need to get too picky. I just wanted to get those things because those are important. And so let's zoom out here. And what we're going to do is let's scroll through here and see if anything pops up. And occasionally you'll see like a flicker here that's popping up, and you might see even more depending upon how you painted this. And so what you're going to need to do is if you see any lighter areas inside of here, and we'll go back here and see if we can find that little flicker thing there. Yeah, there it goes. It's right there. Then what you want to do is at least make a notation to yourself of where it's located at. Bring your timeline indicator to the beginning and make sure you paint over that. So I'm going to make my brush a little larger there and paint over that. Okay? And I've done this so many times. I make this look easy, but you may not. It may take you several times. You want to go through here, and you see little things pop up here and there. That's okay. This will work for what we're going to do here. See, that gets a little lighter there. We'll stop that there. I think this for the moment will be okay. And we can always come back into this to change it if we need to, okay? So what we're going to do next is this. We're going to come over to, I'm going to just try to raise this window up a little bit so you can see down here. You'll see this thing that says toggle switches and modes, okay? And this is at the bottom of our layers for our timeline. And we click on that, and this will change, so you can go back and forth, because there's just so many things you can do with each layer. So what we're going to do is toggle it so we can see track matte. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to the girl walking layer, which is layer 2, and we're going to click on this and drag this to mask. Okay? Then the next thing we're going to do is, and when you do that, it turns off the mask, if you notice that, okay? And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on where it says Alpha Matte over here. You see this little, it's like this square with a black circle inside, okay? We click on that to change that to Luma Matte, okay? We need to be, now the one thing I've done that's not right is we need to go back to this composition here, okay? Because I'm still inside my layer. We want to go to composition girl walking. And if you notice, what I have done here, and we could take off this if we need to, is this has actually allowed the video underneath to be seen on the black. What we're going to do is we're going to invert that. So on this same layer, layer 2 with the girl walking, we're going to click to invert matte, and there we go. So now we have masked this out, and it doesn't do a bad job there, you know? Now, the sky could be a little darker, the storm clouds. So what we're going to do is we're going to, and I'll just stop this here, okay? And I'm going to click on the storm clouds layer here. And we're going to go over to our effects, and we'll type in hue for hue and saturation, and we'll double click that, and we'll add that in. And what we're going to do is make this darker, okay? And might even increase the saturation. I might even change the color a little bit by moving this where you see this little wheel with kind of like a clock. I'm going to just move that a little bit right there, okay? And let's play this now. So now we got storm clouds that are much darker. And if for some reason, you know, let's get this even darker just to see it. You see, how dark can we get the storm clouds to be? Okay. If for some reason you need to go back into your mask to adjust the levels, you can. I'm going to stop this for a moment. We can go back into our mask and double click that layer, and we can always readjust this if it's not dark enough. If sometimes I've done this in the past, and what has happened is as soon as I make the storm clouds lighter, the branches and the trees are lighter than the background. And if that's happening to you, you can go into here by double clicking into our mask layer and getting into layer mode. And it's weird that it's just done this. I'm going to click, because I don't know what happened to my painting there. I'm going to go back here. Yeah, it does this sometimes. It will absolutely forget what you painted, but it's still there. Believe me, sometimes After Effects gets a bit glitchy like this. I think if I go get my brush, and I try to hit B, but B's not going to work here. There we go. You know what? See, that was a glitch. I didn't paint that all in. I just started to, and then it filled it in. I don't know what happened to the paint that I had put in there before. It's a glitch that happens, and you're going to run into these little glitches occasionally with After Effects. But anyway, let's go back out to our composition here by clicking up here where it says Composition Girl Walking, and that will be great for what we've done. So next thing we need to do is we just need to render this out. We're going to add to render queue. Well, first thing, we could save this if we ever need to go back to it. Okay, so we'll save as, and we're going to be saving it on the desktop in our project folder. This is FX exercise tutorial for me. Okay, and we're not going to save it in the assets, and we'll just call this I don't know, New Sky. You can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it Dark Sky, Storm Sky, Girl Walking New Sky, whatever you want to do, okay? All right, so we did that. Now let's go to composition, and we're going to add to the render queue. Okay, we're going to click on this. We'll change this to, I'm going to change this to New Sky. And make sure we're going to save this into the assets, because this is going to become an asset that we're making for our next video tutorial. Okay, so let's save that there. We'll render this out. Okay, great. So that's done. And as I said before, this should be in here. Okay, there is new sky. And this will end this tutorial, and I'm going to be starting the next one in just a moment, okay?